Today I'm going to be talking with Mr. Anderson. He's our director here at ACTC. And we have a list of questions that we've been asked to ask our principals, and we're going to kind of have a conversation about these answers that he's going to give. The first question is, tell me about the leadership behaviors you find most impactful in establishing a positive culture and positive learning outcome.
So I feel like my leadership style is servant leadership, where I feel like I'm here to serve in the position that I'm in, and being a former coach and player on a sports team, I bring in the team aspect of it as a very important part of building a good leadership style, is making sure that you've got good people surrounding you on your team. Some of the things that are important, I feel like setting expectations and modeling those expectations, very, very important. Building relationships through conversations that you have, listening to students, teachers, parents, trying to use those conversations to get better at what we do, promoting collaboration among teachers and also students, supporting growth and continuous improvements important, not just for me, but for the team as a whole, making sure that we're continually trying to get better. And then with what we do, it's very, very important that we stay student focused.
Absolutely.
And our direction needs to be always focused on trying to make things better for our students.
Okay. Number two, tell me about leadership behaviors that are required but that you find most challenging.
So one of the things is celebrating success is very, very important for leaders, and that's one of the things that I feel like I struggle with a lot of times because of a background that I have with playing and coaching sports. In that situation, you're always looking at the next game, and in this situation, I feel like we're always trying to look at that next goal that we've got. So that's a struggle. Ways that I try to do that is just trying to be intentional, and praising teachers, or thanking them for something that they do, or an accomplishment that they have. Just making sure that we're doing that. Also for me, I mentioned the team part, and that's having those folks on your team that are good at celebrating success, and we do have those here within our center, and I rely on them a lot, to help me to celebrate those small wins and our big wins as well.
I can share that same, we talked about before, I've been a coach before, and we all kind of have that same nature of looking ahead to what's next, to celebrating the small moments. So I struggle with that sometimes myself. The next question, describe how the vision and mission of the schools are established.
So for us, our vision and mission revolves around our advisory committees. So advisory committees, we've got parents on there, we've got students, we've got business and industry. And for us, our goal here is to make sure that we're producing students that are going to be successful and in the workplace in our area. So having those business and industry partners come in and help us to develop that goal and what success looks like within their individual businesses and industries, I think is important, and everybody's got to be, a part of that process. I feel like.
Let's go back on how do you manage to incorporate those behaviors in the face of the challenges of nature. We were talking about kind of putting your weakness out for that you don't often celebrate. How do you manage to let everybody know that you are celebrating them in other ways besides just saying thank you? Is there anything else that you do, like an ice cream social or just a random celebration day to celebrate those activities?
Right, yes, that's where I bring in some members of our team, to kind of set those things up
Okay.
and celebrate those wins. Trying to also, when we can, put that information out, as well. Maybe getting a newspaper, somebody from the newspaper to come in
Okay.
and highlight that particular teacher, that particular, class, or whatever the case may be. But again, like I said, just being intentional, because with it not coming natural to me,
Right.
sometimes you have to step back and say, what are our wins, to this point, and go back and
Right.
make sure.
I think
that-
sometimes here we celebrate multiple wins at once too, instead of just
Yes.
breaking them down over and over and over into little tiny things that we have celebrations and do things in a bigger form we celebrate multiple things as
Right.
one time. All right, do you have strategies for formally or informally assessing school nature? If so, describe the strategies that you use.
So one of the surveys, definitely is something that we use, sending out to students and staff and community, looking at that feedback, and that's something that we'll do, as a school. And we'll look at those feedbacks and try to find ways that we can improve. Observations, just being in and out of classrooms, observing not just teacher to student, but teacher to teacher, student to student, interactions. Get a lot from that as far as culture. You can look at data, discipline data, attendance data. You don't have a lot of discipline, then culture
Right.
tends to be good. Attendance, if there's not a lot of attendance issues, then everybody wants to be here.
Right.
So that's a positive thing. Staff retention's another thing that we could look at. Are folks happy, to be working here?
Right.
Not wanting to leave, a lot of turnover and those kind of things. And then just, mention surveys and those being anonymous, because that's where you're gonna get your best feedback, but also having conversations one-on-one, with teachers, with students, just trying to find ways and ideas that we can be better.
All right, last question. Describe how strategic planning around program effectiveness is conducted in your school. What is your role in the process of strategic planning relevant to program effectiveness?
Yeah, so within the district, we have a 5-year strategic plan. We are a part of that plan here at CTE. So just taking that plan, and we develop goals, here that would help the district meet their goals.
Right.
So what we do there is we'll meet, with teachers, about those goals and develop action steps, that we can put into place to help meet those goals. My part in that is kind of giving the data, making sure that I'm giving the teachers the data that they need to help drive their action steps, and also make sure that the action steps are going in the right direction. One of the things that we've talked about in our meetings is it's good that everybody has different goals, because our action steps, I should say, same goal, different action steps, and if one action step is working for this particular teacher, and then maybe this teacher's action step did not work, then we can share and collaborate that and help us meet our goals. Another thing is just making sure that I'm communicating our progress with our goals to the superintendent. So I have a meeting with him where he'll come in and we'll sit down and look at different things that we're doing within the center and what we're doing, to meet those goals.
We spoke earlier about some of the results that had came back from some of the stuff that we had sent out, and you sat down with us for an hour just about a piece, and that, to me, I've never been sat down with a principal or administrator in my 25 years. And to me, that just showed that we were all kind of on the same page, and that you cared about our opinions. And it just gave everybody an opportunity to, have a conversation with you about things we need in our classroom, how we're helping to reach that goal, whether it be with state testing and just extra things we're doing in our classrooms. And so I think that the effectiveness we're headed in the right direction. And that is it. Thank you.